caps before it. Any plans of getting Jim Butcher involved in the Shadowrun book? Highly unlikely. Jim is way busy doing his own stuff, and he's got his own game, so I doubt it. We were talking last year, Lauren and I can say this because I don't know if it's ever going to happen. We were talking to a major New York Times bestselling author about the possibility of even him supplying an outline for a Shadowrun book, and that was Pat Rothfuss.
Oh,
which would be a dream to work with.
That would be so awesome.
He said he was thinking about it. Even if he could just do an outline, I said, look, I'll be happy to write the book. Just give me the outline. And we just say, to have him on that would be just phenomenal.
You guys heard that Pat is going to be the 4th member of Acquisitions Incorporated for Wizards of the Coast podcast, right, with Penny Arcade. They just announced that he's going to be going not to Worldcon, but he's going to be going to PAX so that he can actually be one of their live, people that's joining the crowd. So
that's cool.
Kavoth is joining the D&D crew.
That's awesome. Well, hey, I get to play True Dungeon with him at Gen Con, and I'm super stoked about that. It's going to be a lot of fun. But to get back to it, if we can work, I'm going to keep talking to him about it, see if we can do something. I know he's also incredibly busy, but that would just be phenomenal. We're hoping to get people like Mike Stackpole and Mel Odom back into the world as well. Some of the oldies but goodies. Those guys who do the great work. Real quick, let's see. Question: how many of the writers are planning on going crazy with the editor? That is a really good question. I haven't played the game enough to kind of get a real feel for it, and I want to get into it once that happens. I wouldn't mind taking a whack at it. I imagine some of the other writers might be looking forward to doing this. Jason, are you going to play with the editor at all and make your own runs on this or anything?
The temptation is there. There was a game a while back called Blades of Exile that allowed you to do that in a role-playing game, and that was kind of fun to play around with. And given that the level of sophistication for Shadowrun Returns is much higher, and I do have a couple of Shadowrun ideas somewhere in my head, the temptation is there. The time is 100% not.
Yeah, that's the other thing for me too. Oh, dear Lord, no.
So while I'd like to, and it would be fun to try to do, I don't see me having the time to do it anytime soon.
I was feeling...
I just want to find time to play the damn thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I wanted to say two things. First of all, 180, no, sadly not. They will not. I hope they'll be watching it, though, in some cases, if they can. Catabasis, hello, my friend. How are you? Good to see you, man. Welcome to everybody. While they were talking, I was feeling very proud of myself because I was winning the combat, and then I turn around, and it's like there's 3 more guys. I'm like, oh, well, that's great.
By the way, our Greg, if I can, or do you prefer? Which do you prefer? I refer you to in this.
Well, you can call me Arv if you remember it. I understand if it's great. They know that it's both the same thing, but they're probably used to me as Arv. So, but it's up to you.
I will probably regret this, but I would love to join one of your group games at some point.
Oh well, I mean, hey, I know. Well, you know what's actually funny is that I can say this because this actually happened on the stream. I've been playing a Baldur's Gate group with some of the folks over at Destructoid, Rick Olson, who is the head of Destructoid on Twitch, and Anominatus, who's here in chat, and some other people. We've been playing it. So we were playing Baldur's Gate, which of course is one of my favorite games from back in the day.
Yes.
And this guy comes in. His name is Relkin, who I don't think I see here right now.
Oh yeah, where the heck he should be?
But
here.
But he was here, and so I'm commenting about it. And I mentioned this stream, and I said this is going to be happening, and Shadowrun's going to come out, and John's going to be on, and I'm trying to get Jason Hardy, and blah 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 blah. And he said John Helfers. He's like, well, that's my stepfather. I was like, what? I said, ha ha, troll. He said, no, really. And all of a sudden, it became clear that John's wife Carrie, who I know very well, an excellent author and editor in her own right, that was her son, and he just happened to randomly be on the cast. So very amazing how these things happen. But yes, so
it's a small world.
It's
a small gamer world. That's
yes,
right.
And just in reference to the gameplay that's going on there, if we hadn't gone with everything has a price as the theme for Shadowrun 5, and then I turned around and there were 3 more guys, would have been a good backup.
Yeah, it's very true.
I'm texting Relkin right now and seeing where he is.
There he is. Relkin's right there. He just popped in. Hello, Relkin. How are you, sir? We were just referring to you.
His ears must have been burning.
You just came up. I do actually want to throw a question actually at all of the authors, which is, and actually both Jason and John too, which is, what is the latest Shadowrun or non-Shadowrun related project that you are working on at present? I mean, Jason, maybe it's finishing up with the hardcover of 5th edition, or I don't know if you feel like that's now out of your hands.
That better be done.
Yeah, I know, but I'm curious. I mean, 30 days. I've already heard about this 30-day anthology thing, so who knows? But anyway, I'm curious how things stand with that.
Jason, why don't you start?
Yeah, the book is done, so the hardcover should be at Gen Con unless, lightning burns down Indianapolis or something. I don't know. The last thing I was working on when I stopped for lunch on my drive home, I checked my email and saw final edits for the demo kit version of the card building game, Shadowrun Crossfire, the deck building game.
Okay.
So that we made final edits to the rules and sent that to press. So we will have the demo kit of that going. And that's a big step on the way to getting the whole version of the game up. So that's going. Then we've got some adventures to be working on, and a plot book to work on. So yeah, those are the main. Oh, and a combat book. Those are the main things I'm working on at the moment.
All right, I'm going to jump in because this actually leads into a question Optic just asked. Are the 6 WizKids books the last of the novels? Are there more to look forward to in the future? Well,
which reminds me of one more thing I'm working on.
Indeed. Well, waiting to hear back on, as I recall.
No, I've heard back, so I've got it. I've got the novel, and I'm going to work on that too.
Oh, good. Well, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking about your book.
No, I'm talking about the first one.
Yes. The short answer for Optic is there are going to be, as far as I know, and that's what I'm working towards, there are going to be at least 6 Shadowrun novels coming out directly from Catalyst Game Labs. And we're working on putting those together right now. And Jason just hinted at the first one, which is kind of a Frankensteinian thing, but it's getting worked on right now. And then Mr. Hardy is going to be second in the rotation. And Jason, did you push through that email for Russell like I asked? Is that ongoing?
I didn't do it while I was gone, but that will be a high.
Okay, no problem. Right, you're traveling. That's understood. And I'm going to announce it here because then I'll make Russell freak out. But Russell Zimmerman is going to be doing the third one. It looks like very. That's
very cool.
There.
Also,
so
angle what I'm supposed to be doing over Russell and see if he bats at it like a kid.
So full length Shadowrun novel goodness will be back. I'm gonna say sometime this year. That's what I'm gonna say. So that's the plan. And we're working very hard to get it happening. We have good stuff from Phaedra Weldon also. And it's been a dream or a goal of Lauren's at Catalyst and mine for several years now, and we are very pleased to be able to say that yes, we're working towards it absolutely.
Very cool. And yes, in answer to the question of above, I am aware of the Neverwinter Nights thing, the Neverwinter Nights 2 remake of Baldur's Gate, which is very cool. I liked the Enhanced Edition a lot because I liked sort of the isometric view. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I'm digging this game a lot, which, by the way, is reminding me a lot of XCOM at the moment. But anyway, so I dig the isometric stuff a lot. But yes, I have heard about it, and it was a one-person project, which took, I think, 7 years to do. So it's pretty incredible stuff, actually. But yeah, so I am aware of it.
How is someone doing like red in there? Someone asked a question. What is?
Oh yeah, that's
red thingy?
So I'm using Better Twitch TV, which is something which when someone uses a couple of keywords, it's highlighted, and basically ARV is the highlight. So that way, that's a way so I can be like, someone is asking a question for me. So
gotcha. Oh, well, aren't you special?
No, I just have people who tell me cool things that I didn't know myself.
By the way, Greg, do me a favor.
Sure.
When you're in the game, go hover over this puddle of stuff.
Okay.
It's a puddle in the lower right. No, lower. Right there. Oh, wait, are you still fighting?
I am still fighting, yes.
Oh, wait, finish your combat. I'll show you something
right.
that popped up. And it's the shaman's view of the world. And the interesting thing is that each character class has a different view. Different things will pop up for them, which I think is really great.
Oh, wow.
They've really cool. Customized the experience. So when you're playing Street Samurai, you've got different views. When you're playing a mage, it's different. A shaman's different. Physical adept is different. It's just really cool. Yeah. So would you geek these guys already so we can move on?
I'm working on it. I mean, I'm having some issues. Clearly.
Slacker.
How did you miss that? Sam Watts, by the way, is a clown. I'm here to officially announce that this guy is never going to make it in.
I don't know. He actually geeked one of the set guys when I played him, so I think it's the operator.
It could very well be operator error.
And by the way, the other thing I like is that you actually play the NPCs too, which I think is really cool. So you can decide what they do, which I think is very awesome. I like that control where you can set them up. I know you can set them up in Baldur's Gate, but here I think you have much more control over it. And it just seems a lot better. You're the shaman now. Starting to say, bull, jeez.
Oh, good grief! I should never mention that. I can shut that highlight thing off. Just be aware of that, chat.
Maybe it's just not like it's just so red.
Whoa! Did that guy just summon a? Oh wow!
Ooh, wow!
Like whoa!
He did not do that. as far as I know.
Oh, so that's not operator error, is it?
No, that's enemies kicking your butt.
Wow, that's I know. I'm getting worried here. Okay, so I believe the two of you guys mentioned projects that you're working on at the moment. I didn't know if I missed it, but if some of the writers in chat, are you able to talk about projects that you're working on at the moment? Again, if they're not Shadowrun related, that's fine. I'm just curious about the Shadowrun. Well, I'm curious about any projects.
Both
that
said
you're involved
Shadowrun Mission Season 5 and the 2013 convention missions. I currently have 16 or so adventures in the pipeline. Wow, that's crazy.
in. Wow.
Others people, well, we already kind of spilled the beans that Russell's going to be working on his book very soon, hopefully. Robin, Philip, what are you guys doing right now?
Oh, not enough ammo. I have to reload.
Hit the small. No, next to it.
Yep.
The small blue thing with the 1 in the circle. No, you got to go down at the bottom of the screen.
Oh, I see it.
Next to the gun. I see it.
Yep, I see it.
There you go. I had to figure that one out myself. So like, oh, that's how you do it. Okay.
Haha, good job, Sam. About time you made something out of yourself. Yeah, thanks, Mike. I appreciate that. Again, giveaway. Once I get done with this combat, I will do this giveaway that I've been promising of Fallout 1 and Fallout Tactics, so stay tuned for that. And if you have questions, again, make sure. What have I seen? Most current non-Shadowrun Satellite Rain Kickstarter, recent Shadowrun intro box sets, some Crossfire stuff, lots of SR love, waiting for the next calls for proposals to go out, working on some original fiction. Let's see, same as Rad. I'll anxiously keep an eye on our inbox for project specs from the boss man. Yeah, you guys realize that you're paralleling life, right? I assume that John and Jason, as your corporate overlords, that you haven't noticed the delicious irony in asking you to write about this. I don't know if that's.
Oh yeah, I got my Fixer hat on. It was quite a lot of fun. Absolutely. I actually just recently joined the SR Freelancers forum, and I've been watching the very interesting talk going on. Jason, you'll have to clue me in when that SR Freelancers meeting is, because I'll definitely want to be there for that one at Gen Con.
Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll tell you.
Okay.
I think I've got it figured out finally.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Good. What was going on? Someone asked a question. Oh, Super RPG Man said Neverwinter Nights. By the way, there is a way, I think, to play with the views in this game. I started to play around with it, but I didn't want to screw it up, so I didn't screw with it too much. But there's a couple of different ways to make the camera either fixed or swivel around or stuff like that. But I wasn't going to screw with it myself.
Okay. Let me see if I can find that, because I'd like to be able to rotate it.
Right. Okay. Wait. First, actually, do that thing real quick. Hold on. Go back to your game screen.
Yep.
And then go over to the puddle of stuff near the south. It flashes a little skull on it.
Yeah, but I have to go there, don't I? To be able to...
but you highlight it. That's what a shaman sees. That this is something like dangerous. It's toxic to the environment.
Oh, so in other words,
no other character gets that viewpoint. Yes,
I get you. I got you. Oh, that's cool.
And then there's something corrosive up here, and I'm not sure if you can do something with it, like purify it. I have no idea, because I never played a shaman. So, but it's something interesting that it's a character-specific, it's a class-specific trait ability you have. So there you go.
Very, very cool. All right, that's cool. Let me see.
The puddle.
I can slow people down. What I really need is first of all, I need to take these guys down, and I need to not have Sam die in the process. So that's the way that needs to go. Let's see.
Oh yeah, why didn't you kill that guy yet? What the heck?
Oh, I'm working on it, man. This is difficult stuff. They gave, for you guys, obviously they had a different, like there's clearly a Shadowrun Returns, there's a Shadowrun universe like editor, Shadowrun like difficulty level. For
we got the
connected
easy
to the
one.
game. Yeah, totally.
Sure, yeah.
Totally.
Exactly.
That's how this goes down.
So, Greg, how are you finding the gameplay? That's what I'm really curious about so far.
I really like it a lot. I mean, I'm very used to it because of the XCOM thing. Here, you just back up there. So it's reminding me a lot in terms of cover and things like that. So I like that a lot. And I'm sure I'm doing things totally wrong, but I just need to get just trying to get the hang of things as well.
Jason, we're getting calls for you to shamelessly plug the intro box sets content, so you're on.
Happy to do that. Intro box set will have simplified rules and a nice game master book and a series of adventures and pre-generated characters and everything you need to just sit down and start running immediately right out of the gate.
Sweet.
And of course, Killer Fiction by Russell Zimmerman.
Gotta put that.
I saw there was a question about how that relates to the Runner's Toolkit. There will also be a toolkit. The Runner's Toolkit, the intro box set is kind of the very first step, you would take him to the Shadowrun role-playing, tabletop role-playing arena. Then, if you like that, get the core book, and if you like the core book, immediately buy the Runner's Toolkit that will be updated for 5th edition, because that will give you a whole lot of tools that will help you run the game easier. Things like cheat sheets, reference books, guides for new game masters to help them see how they would use tests in different game situations, and of course the legendary packs, pre-generated auxiliary character kit system, which is a way to just pick a bunch of attributes, skills, and gear kits that go together and slap a character together in 10 or 15 minutes. So yeah, we'll be working on both of those. The intro box set is much farther along at this point than the 5th edition Runner's Toolkit. So look for it hopefully in the fall.
Cool.
You'd also like to gift the winner. Oh, super. I appreciate that very much. Absolutely. If we can make that happen, that would be great. Hey, Mojo. Good to see everybody who's here. I am just trying to finish up this combat without dying so that I can do this giveaway and we can continue with this. I'm really liking the combat, but as these guys are talking, they're like, oh, this is happening and this is happening. I'm like, how do I not die? How do I not die? How do I not die?
You keep casting and shooting the bad guys until they're dead.
Well, I know, but I have to heal myself, too.
And your buddy, good thing you healed What's-Her-Face, because she was almost going to die there as well. So,
Yep.
you know.
I'm just going to run up to him and just hit him with a bat. That always works.
There you go. Yeah, see, bat
or
for
a
the
knife,
head.
actually, not a bat.
Well, that works too. Actually, you have the baseball bat is enabled on your character, so you got the bat. Congratulations.
I've got the bat. All right, let's see. Should be able to.
It's an adventure. That's a great comment by Jason there. That's hilarious.
Whoops. Guess I had not occurred to the thought that I could hit myself. That seems logical. There is, in fact, I can confirm there's friendly fire. I was just showing you all that friendly fire is a possibility.
That's,
and,
boy, that's really funny. I've never been shot by my own guys yet, and I've been very close to getting that in one of the later adventures. I'm like sitting right next to the guy, and they're blowing them away.
Yeah, these are all new vistas, John, that I'm opening up for you. That's what I'm all about here.
I guess.
Okay, you hit me. I hope I do not miss you. I did not. Haha. Survive the Renraku strike team attack. You okay,
there you
Sam?
Go.
That was a hell of a thing. Whew. All right. That was all part of the plan. Just wanted to make sure that everybody knew that was going on.
To take a half hour to do it, really?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm also doing a couple different things at the same time, as you're aware. Congrats, I made it through the combat tutorial. Thanks, Russell. I feel very honored that I've successfully made the tutorial. But anyway, that's very cool. I really like that combat.
Shotgun. That's right. If you shotgun with a bullet spread, that's true.
Yeah.
Hey,
so.
you're an academic. You're used to doing like 3 things at once all the time, man. Come on.
That's true. You make,
no
you make a good point. But usually not that involves the video game and
just bad.
It's
that's
different.
funny.
It's just bad. Okay, so let's see. So let us actually conduct this little giveaway that we have here. So the way this is going to work is what we're going to do is we're just going to have everybody. Let's see. I don't have the problem is I don't have the Nightbot thing installed. So let's see. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. Because I actually haven't had a chance to do a giveaway thing before. No thanks on the giveaway thing. Let's see. Wondering what I can ask. Thinking I may do some kind of maybe like a Shadowrun. Let's do that. We could do some kind of like a Shadowrun trivia question, which means I'll leave the authors out of this. So we'll do some kind of a Shadowrun trivia question. I'll actually bring the guests in on this. What I will ask is for either John or Jason to come up with, and if you guys want to type to each other in the Skype window or whatever to come up with something, I'll ask you guys to come up with a basic Shadowrun trivia question for chat. And what you'll do is you'll throw that trivia question in chat, and then the person who is able to answer the question right first is going to win the giveaway. We're going to have a couple of giveaways, but there's going to be this is going to be the first of those giveaways. And so they're going to think of a question to give you guys. So the authors are not going to be included, I'm afraid, in this, because that's, that would not be fair.
I'll bet Jason can probably come up with something that might, well, no, a lot of them are freelancers too. It probably wouldn't stump them, come to think of it. So
yeah, so no stuff. We don't want questions that are, we want questions that, basic knowledge of Shadowrun beyond like where does it take place, but
Oh, that's a good one. I think that's fine. I think that.
Okay, so let me know. Right. So don't put it in there yet.
Because that's a pretty big. Yeah, that should work fine. That should be the ideal, I think, toughness. And then if the fans if it's too much for them, then we'll figure out something else. But I think that's a good introductory one because that's a fairly major thing that happened.
Yeah.
Well, the Guilt, the reason is that I don't have a bot set up on my channel, and I don't have an ability to do like a randomizer thing, and I'm not going to take like 65 separate names to do that. So, although I guess I could do. Well, let me think.
I like Robin's. What is Lawford's shoe size? Whatever he wants it to be.
Depends on what form he's taking at the time.
Yeah, but I don't use Chrome Guilt. I use Firefox. A lot of people entering aren't familiar with Shadowrun. All right. We're going to do it different then. You guys are fine. We'll do it a different way. Yeah, but I can't do a dice roll automatically through this. So I will do this differently. Instead, what I will do is, let me see. Yeah, well, I see random.org, but what does that have anything to do with that, Xanos?
You pick a number. Everyone guesses it. The closest one wins. There you go.
You could host the giveaway. Well, I'm sure he did, but I don't have it set up, though.
67-sided die.
Let's see. Just typed in the names? What do you mean you just typed in the names? He just... Well, 67 of them? Okay, so I see what he did. So he highlighted it right. That's right. I remember now. All right, okay. I will do that. So I'm going to highlight these names that are in here right now. I'm going to highlight these names in here right now. And then, let's see.
It's like watching over your shoulder as you work. It's breathtaking.
Let's see. And then, what part of this did he go to, guys? Copy paste. Yeah, I did it. Yeah, Optic, I did from the viewer list. Yeah, I already did that. But I need to paste it. Where do I paste it though? Because I'm at the random.org, but where is the?
Someone said you just highlight the people who are not going to be taking the raffle.
Mm-hmm. I have better Twitch TV, Gil. Is there a list? Where is the list? Random numbers. List randomizer. Okay, I got it. All right, let me take out the people that cannot participate, which is myself. And then if one of the authors wins, they will have to, as I said, give into it. So we will do it this way.
Yes, make your computer plus logic roll.
Okay, here we go. Let me pull up a screen region so you guys can see this.
And make sure there's no, chicanery going on behind the scenes there, which of course there would not be.
No, certainly not.
Greg is as honest as the day is long.
I am. I certainly did not in any way pay him to say that. Let's see.
Shh.
Okay, let's pop that up right now. All right. I have now put in all the names. This is the way that Kata used to do it, I remember now. So I've put in all these names, and all of the people now are going to be in it. So we are now going to randomize. And the way it works is the person who is on the top of this list, right now it's Kale Sotobo, but we're going to randomize it. The person on this top of the list is going to win Fallout 1 and Fallout Tactics, and that's going to be done through Steam. So if you don't have Steam, then that's not going to work out.
Since Steam is free, they shouldn't be too much of a problem.
There should not be too much of a problem, but some people have a DRM issue and stuff like that. So, all right, here we go. Randomize.
By the way, Fallout, a classic post-apocalyptic
Here
game.
they are. The
one
winner
of my
is Paradox Zero. Paradox Zero, are you here, sir? You also need to be actually speaking at some point. So, Paradox Zero, are you here, Paradox Zero?
Yes,
Victory! I'm going to gather from that reaction that you actually would like the Fallout 1 and Fallout Tactics. Is that fair to say, Paradox? Paradox, is that fair to say? Paradox obviously hacked the event, yes. No doubt he did. He clearly decked in. And
Yep.
yes, you would. Thank you. Awesome. Okay, so Paradox, all you need to do is send me a Twitch message, please, and then I will send you my Steam info, and I will gift you that versus Steam when I get off the chat tonight. Congratulations, Paradox. Well done, well done. We do have another... we do have... So, Paradox Zero, make sure you send me a Twitch message. Just click on my name. And then you can also work out with Super RPG Man, whether you do that. And again, Super, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. So Paradox Zero has won. Now, for people who did not win this time, fear not, because let me get rid of this screen region. You can see all the games that I have on here.
When do you find time to actually do like work?
These are games that I haven't played any of these. I have very little time to do any of these things. Let's see. So
that sounds familiar.
Let's see. On Steam, I'm going to pop up and make sure because... Hold on one second. Optic, you said that you had something that you were putting up together? Yeah, you don't get 8 copies because you were 8. Sorry, Twisted. Optic, I believe you had mentioned something about that? About having something you were going to gift someone or not? Yes, I do no work because I'm a college professor. That's right, Xanos. Absolutely. All we do is get fed grapes by adoring fans in summer. You have a copy. Okay, you have a copy of Shadowrun Returns to give away. That seems appropriate. Optic, so hold off on that, Optic. Don't do that yet. We're going to do that, and that'll be handled over through Optic's chat. Optic is also himself a streamer, so we will do that later on. So congratulations, Paradox. Thank you, guys. We will have another giveaway in a little while, but for right now, let's head back to the game and to the game and the questions. So
the action, yes, exactly.
Okay. So if people have questions that came up, please feel free to ask. We're up to mid-70s now, which is great. And if you have questions for either Jason Hardy from Catalyst Game Labs, who is the heading the Shadowrun RPG, or for John Helfers, who edited the Shadowrun Returns anthology and is also written in this universe and is a fine editor and author, or if you have questions for any of the authors in chat that have all popped up, which is awesome. Oh, okay, Optic. That's cool. I appreciate that. Well, in either way, we're going to do that in a little while. If you have questions, just make sure to put question in capital letters, and please, target it at somebody. Question for Jason, question for John, or question for both. Or if you have a question for one of the authors, let them know. All right.
Greg, you just got a shout out from Russell, who also works in academia.
Oh, so. Really, Russell? Yeah. What's up? How's the summer treating you, Russell?
Yeah, indeed.
Yes, Paradox. You can send me your Steam name, please. Yes, but do it via the Twitch chat. Do it via the Twitch message. If you just click on my name, you can send me a Twitch message with that. Why is Shadowrun so awesome? That's a good question.
Well, there are a myriad of answers. We could be here all night talking about that.
Let me throw that to Jason first, actually, and then I'll then to John. So, what got you most about the game, Jason? I mean, what is it you like the most? Is it just the setting was amazing, or was there some it factor that it had that is almost intangible? Why do you like it as much as you do?
It was the setting first. I'm a big fan of noir and that atmosphere. I'm also a big fan of fantasy, and there's just not a lot that combines the two. So to have that atmosphere together and to not only have the visual feel that the books have and how the art pulls you in, but have the writing have that kind of spiky attitude when it's at its best. You look at a Shadowrun source book, and it's just fun to read because it's always in your face and have clever lines, but also has that underlying cynicism and darkness. And just there's so many possibilities of stories to write there and stories to tell. It's just a blast to play in.
Very cool. John, what about you?
I couldn't agree more. I remember when I saw this, it was the second ed game book, and I'm like, okay, this is like Blade Runner. Wait a minute. Why does that guy have horns? Why is this guy casting a spell? What is going on here? And I was hooked from the get-go. Just like Blade Runner dystopia meets magic, I'm all in. Absolutely. There's no going back. And the funny thing is, people don't realize is Shadowrun predates all of this big, huge rise in the paranormal genre fiction by about, I would say, 5 years. I mean, Laurel K. Hamilton was just starting her run with the Anita Blake series, which was, a lot of people, was the first. But Shadowrun was right up there. I mean, yes, we did a little more science fiction-y, but it was it was the whole city streets, spell slinging. Yes, they added on a little bit of cyberpunk, but they still, I mean, to me, that was really one of the progenitors of the urban paranormal movement. But yeah, it was just the setting just rock and rolled.
Shadowrun gives William Gibson an ulcer, so it has that. Well,
yes, it does.
Is he not a fan? I didn't know that. Is he not a fan of Shadowrun?
If you go to his Wikipedia, is it on the Shadowrun or Gibson's Wikipedia entry? One of them, someone asked him about Shadowrun. He's like, "Oh, it's elves running around in the future." Blah blah blah. He does not like it because of the magic aspect, and he's on record.
Blah blah blah. The actual words I've seen him quoted as saying is "gag me with a spoon."
Yes.
Well, I mean, in fairness,
from the 80s.
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, Gibson does nothing halfway, though. I mean, that's
right.
That's the way. That's just the way he is, kind of, in general. It is true that a lot of it too was that it was really sort of a mashup in a way of Dungeons and Dragons and Cyberpunk, where you had elves and orcs and trolls and traditional races, and there's always been, you guys know this, there's always been this stigma associated around to a degree between fantasy science fiction authors with a capital A way, and the folks who
Yeah.
did stuff in D&D. And only, relatively recently, I think, has that impression been shifting, as a lot of guys have been, breaking out from one direction to the other. A lot of writers have been going one way or the other, and there's a lot more cross-genre blurring. And you have people like Matt Forbeck, who do a lot of game work, who now work in, obviously started with games and stuff like that. But there's definitely that stigma, I think, existed for a lot of the so-called mainstream genre authors, if such a thing exists. So.
Right, Russell just put up the quote from Gibson about it. The extreme initial revulsion at seeing my literary DNA mixed with elves. Like, well, dude, you weren't the first one to do it. I mean, Neuromancer, keep in mind, is a seminal work in the whole cyberpunk genre. There's some other people who were doing it, first, even back as far as the 40s and 50s. Gasp. So, I'm not trying to get at his literary DNA. But it is what it is. I'm curious about the story. Someone said I also managed to make Walter John Williams mad. I want to know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
He got all bent out of shape because they used to call the LAVs Panzers. That's why they changed to Thunderbirds.
This one...
Wow, that's just ridiculous. Okay, we had another question, though.
Yeah, hi, Meat. Hi, everybody. And by the way, in chat, if you like what you see and hear, please also make sure to follow. I haven't talked as much about the channel tonight, but please make sure to follow if you like what you're seeing and hearing, because there will be more Shadowrun in the future. And in fact, I am going to have a chance to get at some point Jennifer Brozek, who had the lead story in this anthology, on to talk a little bit about Shadowrun. She lives in Seattle, too, so she's got that that cred as well. But the question that's asked from Paobo is, has Matrix stuff been worked over in 5th instead of having to run a game for Deckers and another for the rest of the team? That strikes me as a leading question, Jason. Why don't you take that one on?
Yes, it absolutely has. That was one of the very first things we put on the list of design goals for 5th edition, is we wanted to get the Matrix more integrated with the rest of the game. So the mechanics are more integrated with what happens. It's less extended tests, more tests that happen immediately, just like the rest of the game. And there are other mechanics designed to make the Decker involved, and we brought back the term Decker because we like it, or Bull likes it specifically, to make the Decker involved in action as it happens, and so that as things are going on around the team, the Decker is doing stuff at the same time, rather than team does stuff, then wait for a while and goes out for pizza while Decker does stuff. So everything should be happening more simultaneously.
Very cool. Very cool. So let's see. Thanks for once again calling the Deckers and the Cyber Deck. Let's see.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Yeah,
Again,
absolutely.
This is 2050, back when everything's wired up, which is kind of funny. There's no wireless in this world, in the world of the game, of Shadowrun Returns, which is a little... Jason, have you had a problem with people kind of getting these confused, or are they able to keep it straight fairly easily?
As far as the dates are concerned? Yeah.
The whole world setting.
Oh, yeah, right.
I think so far, with Shadowrun Returns not being out, there hasn't been a chance to get it confused. I imagine there will be some confusion as it goes along, as people shift back and forth between wireless and no wireless, and what people are doing and what characters are doing at different times. There probably will be some confusion. But there's always confusion before when we only had one timeline, so it's okay. We'll deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, any more Shadowrun-y goodness is good for, I think, the entire universe anyways. So it's not a really big deal. And this, the funny thing is, I kind of like the retro feel of this, because it kind of gives them, and you guys actually put out the Shadowrun 2050 source book too, which I thought was hilarious. Which is
that was a pretty
roll
hilarious timing thing. We came up with the idea for the Shadowrun 2050 source book and wrote it all up, and then a few months after, they announced that Shadowrun Returns was going to be set in the 2050 setting, and it came out. So that was a complete coincidence, but nice timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was funny.
I think you ought to claim that you actually were fully aware that was what was going to happen. I think that would be, for extra.
Yes, I had my still Jordan Weiss.
Jason, Puppet Master Hardy.
Yes, style points.
Indeed.
Just quickly, since I apparently am now investigating. So interestingly, I've been put on a murder case by the victim. So the guy had this thing set up so that when he gets killed, they would call me immediately, and if I succeed, then I will get 100,000 nuyen. Is that right?
Yep, right.
Is what I'm going to get in this insurance policy that he had. So I'm heading off to Seattle, which is appropriate. And it says, my plane hits the SeaTac tarmac with a jolt. Welcome to Seattle. The chilly northwest rain obscures your vision as you step onto the tarmac. Before long, you're sitting in the cramped backseat of a cab, following the signal from Sam's locator chip into the heart of the Redmond Barrens. Organ Grinders, a legal chop shop for body parts, whether from the living or the dead. If you're hurting bad enough for Nuyen, this is the place to sell a limb or an organ. That's tremendous. It's also a good place to dispose of an inconvenient body while making a little cash on the side. This franchise is the closest thing the Barrens has to a morgue. It seems this is where Sam Watt's body has ended up. You open the door and are assaulted by the smell of death and bleach. All right, a morgue. That's what I'm talking about. All right,
big money, big prizes. You just have to live to collect.
Big money, big prizes. Okay, so we got a question, which is there going to be a Shadowrun 2050 revision for 5th edition?
I don't know. That is not in the cards at the moment. We'll see how things go going forward, so I can't say for sure.
Everyone just bug Jason about it, whoever's going to be at Gen Con, and then that way it'll happen.
If I get enough requests, that does tend to make an impression.
Yeah, there does have to be the interest in it. I mean, it's true. I mean, I'm actually quite serious, so, exactly. And yeah, the 2050 was hilarious.
Squire, it does not, I mean, the only connection that it has is that they're both set in the Shadowrun universe, but other than that, a lot of people's complaint about 2007 was just that game had nothing at all. It was just, besides the name, it was not Shadowrun at all, from what I've heard. Now, I did not play it.
That's what I heard as well.
But that's what I've heard
as well. Yeah, they just slapped it on there, and people who made it didn't just really know anything about the universe. Anyone who has played it, if you want to chime in, I'd love to hear kind of takes on it, but that was the impression I got too.
And I've seen the writing in the game. Shadowrun Returns get some kudos. You mentioned Jennifer Brozek. I don't know exactly what the proportion of work she did in that, but a lot of the dialogue and I believe other writing in the game is her handiwork. So
very good.
She was By the way, Greg, the scrolls thing over there actually has useful news on it, so keep an eye on those. The scrolling yellow thing on the side
very cool.
where it says yes.
I will do that.
Yes, it does.
Press conference
tonight. I didn't see that until afterwards.
That's cool. I am going to check that out. Yeah, I know John and I know Jen very well.
We were hoping to have Jen here, but she could have otherwise engaged, unfortunately.
Yes, so I'm going to try to get her on a future stream as well. And Jen also, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, had a short story in the Time Travel Tales anthology you folks know I've been talking about. That's the one that I had a story in as well that was just funded on Kickstarter for 28,004 when it had a goal of 7.5. So that did really well, and it was really, really great. And so she had a story in that as well. And so yeah, that's really cool. It's funny too, because one of the things I've seen in several reviews about this game I was reading today is people talking about the writing, the strength of the writing, really good writing. And so again, I know this is going to be a shock to you guys in Skype and the folks who are still here as authors in chat, but when you get actual writers to write a game, you get good writing.
Exactly.
So,
I have to admit, I was a little envious of Jen, pulling that job down. I was like, if only I would lived in Seattle or near it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
By the way, I have she's doing the second novella, and I have the draft of that. I'm going to be starting work on that too, so that's going to be coming out hopefully, I'm going to say soon.
Very, very cool.
So, yes.
So why was this set, since complete noobish question from me, why was this set in Seattle? I mean, what was just because for fun? Like, why was it set in Seattle back in the day?
Jason, you know that one?
I think a lot of it was just the way they were looking at trends. And, back in the late 80s, it looked like the next dominant world power after the United States would be Japan. And so there's a lot of Japanese influence in Shadowrun. And so Seattle seemed like a city that would be kind of the nexus of both the United States and Japanese influence. But also, if I remember right, I believe one of the developers really knew Seattle well.
Okay.
So some of it was a little bit of writing what you know.
I guess it's a good thing they didn't live in Topeka then, or we would have,
Go out and harvest some corn.
Optic Nerve points out that, it's a gloomy environment, so that doesn't hurt anyone.
That's true. It can be a gloomy environment. A lot of rain out there.
It's not as bad as people make it out to be.
I think also we had 6 world levels of pollution. That helps.
I think that to me it was wanting to do something different. Like, didn't want to set it in L.A. or Chicago or New York or any of the classic cities. And I think Seattle was a great idea for it, because keep in mind at the time a lot of people was like, well, Seattle's out there. Yeah, I know. This was before the grunge movement, before it really kind of blew up in terms of becoming a city that people really got a reputation, in my opinion. I'm not saying Shadowrun had anything to do with that, but I just think it's Seattle's a cool city. I've been there. I enjoy it. A lot of the guys live over there. A lot of the Catalyst guys live over there. Harebrained Schemes that's where they are based as well. So it's like it is a very nice place to be, and yeah, again, it does not rain as often as people think it does. That's all I'm saying.
That's very true. Not as much.
Yes.
It tends not to pour. It just sort of drizzles. That's a big part of it.
Are you talking to Dresden yet?
Am I taught what? Say again?
Yeah, are you talking to Dresden yet?
No, I'm going to do that right now. I just saw him.
Okay, good.
And
Yes.
Dresden.
Yes, the subject, I will not spoil it up, the subject of Jason Hardy's excellent story in the Shadowrun anthology.
Ah.
Story, the
When I
deep
read
end.
through the summaries and what characters were, I wrote down 4 words, or 3 words. Dresden, smiling mortician.
Smiling mortician. His
As
broad
you
grin
can see,
says, I
there
love
was-
my job. A little more that you'd want or expect from someone in the chop shop trade. Something kindly in his eyes, though, may just be a stray reflection of chrome and surgical tools. I almost feel like I should have you do the voiceover for this, Jason. You know, I feel like this you know him intimately well.
That would be a bad idea.
So let me ask then, as you were thinking about this, you guys knew about the plot first. These characters, are any of these characters sort of like canon, you know, within the Shadowrun canon, or were they created somewhat from whole cloth? I mean, how did you get, you know, how much guidance did you have other than the plot? How much guidance did you have from the game about how to write the stories? In case people came in late and know what I'm talking about, the anthology, which comes with the game, if you pre-ordered the deluxe edition, has the writers writing stories for it based upon characters that you find in the game. And Jason Hardy, who's on with us right now, is the person who wrote the Dresden story. So I'm wondering how much guidance you received beyond just the plot.
A fair amount. The character of Dresden existed and had certain personality traits already set, and I know that there's some back and forth when I drafted the story up, making sure it fit with what was going on in the game, both plot-wise and character-wise. So they had a pretty clear vision of what the characters were going to be and where they wanted things to go. So they made sure things fit. You asked before if it was canon and non-canon characters. Right. It's a mix. A lot of them are non-canon, but I believe there are canon characters that you will encounter in some way, shape, or form in the course of the game.
Okay, very cool. So you had some freedom then a little bit, Jason, to kind of construct this guy the way you wanted, essentially.
Yeah, some degree, yeah. As long as it's consistent with what they wanted to do.
Right.
Yeah,
I took a little more direct path into the game than some other stories might have. I don't know, so that made that put a little constraint because I couldn't conflict with what they were doing.
How long a story, by the way? Stories in general were you, John? Were you asking for like what per story?
Well, I was asking around 5. Jason, that guy who always runs over, but it was worth it. It was worth every single word. They were supposed to be about 5,000 words. Some were a little shorter. Most were longer. But most people came in around there, so
okay.
And it just worked out. But let me jump onto what Jason said. It's true. When we first started the anthology project, they were really concerned about being careful not to give away spoilers. And I think in a lot of ways, I think that we don't do that a ton. And there's certainly things that are mentioned that are peripheral. There's some backstories, like Evolution, the Bertolo story is a complete backstory one about the guy you're going to be encountering in a little bit. Actually, you're going to be encountering in about 2 minutes. It's Officer McCluskey. But as it went on and the stories came in and they were so good, we're just like, well, Jason's does tie into the plot. There's no two ways about it. And so if you read it, but you're not going to get anything that's like, oh, this is a key to it necessarily, But Jordan did put in the disclaimer at the beginning just to make sure, because you wanted to make sure that no one, didn't want to ruin the game experience by reading the stories first. But I think like I said in the beginning, I think it just enhances the experience just so much more.
Very cool. Just one thing I wanted to quickly respond to. Super, I don't know. It really kind of depends on what John and Jason want to do. They are both slightly. Jason, you're not Eastern. You're out west, right? Where are you?
I'm in the Midwest. I'm actually in Chicago, just below John.
Okay, so you guys are in the same thing. So they're an hour behind me, so it's about 10 o'clock my time. We are going to do the other giveaway probably about 15 minutes to a half hour, probably a half hour from now or so. These guys, I only asked them to be on for an hour, but I told them that they could be on as long as they're willing to go. So we have, about 71 or 72 people right now that are asking questions. So as long as they're willing to ask you questions, as long as they're willing to answer questions, that's up to them. At some point, I'm sure they will say, I'm sorry, but I got to get going, and that will be totally fine because they've been more than generous with their time. So it's basically up to them. And yes, please don't spoil anything for me because I have totally fresh. But that's fine. You have one spoiler for me. This game is awesome. How dare you spoil? No, that's very cool. It seems pretty awesome. So that's good stuff. So right, on we go with the questions if you folks have them. This is the time to ask them. Let's see. Meanwhile, this guy is telling me that our Ripper knows how to handle a scalpel, but this one's even more twisted. He or she always removes an internal organ from the victim. I don't think I should say delicious, a trophy hunter. I'll just do the sort of neutral and. Watt's liver was clearly cut out. Whiz, I'm going to assume that's something I missed. Question, when is the anthology coming out? Well, actually, more nachos, the anthology already came out through the, I believe, right, John? Actually, you should answer this question.
Yes, I can and will. Here's the thing. If you kickstarted and you were at a level where you got the anthology, I think it was like, I want to say $60 and above, then you get a PDF file. If you went higher, you get a hardcover. The only problem is we couldn't work out a way to get, at this time at least, we could not work out a way to get any kind of like a trade edition. Catalyst tried to work with HPS. It just wasn't possible. HBS, sorry. It just wasn't possible in the time frame to get it done. I'm hoping it'll be brought out at some point, at least even in a PDF, if it does a PDF on like Drive Through RPG or Amazon, because the other people who deserve, I think, not just the Kickstarters, I think other people deserve to see it. It's a great anthology, and I'm hoping that it will come out for just someone can just come in and buy it for $8-10 or whatever, and have it that way, because it's awesome. So I don't know if there's any. I'm going to talk to the guys at Catalyst about it and see if there's any way, or even talk to Jordan and say, do you have any plans to do this? Because I think the authors deserve to have that wider stream, and like I said, the more Shadowrunning goodness is out there, the better.
The better.
That's
definitely.
why I take it.
Okay.
And I just want to give a shout out. A few people who've looked at the anthology have said how nice it looks. And so I want to give a shout out to our layout guy, Matt Hewitt, who does.
Oh God, yes,
stuff.
he is just incredible. I think that guy can take like a brown paper bag and like crayon scribblings and make something phenomenal out of it. He's amazing. He's amazing.
Thank you, Russell.
It's as good as it does.
And Bull has a question for you, John, about do you know if they plan to do an EPUB or Moby version?
Good question. Good question. My answer is gonna be I have no idea. Unfortunately, and I really want this. I mean, you guys, everyone worked really hard on this. I really want it to be out to a wider audience, the widest possible. But I don't know. So, and it's annoying to me too. I mean, I'm pleased to have been a part of it. It was a lot of fun, a lot of stress, but a lot of fun. But I want this to be out to other people. I want this to be, it is a great intro with the game. I want people to be able to like, oh, there's an anthology, because now the Kickstarter is over. Those who bought the game are like, well, what's this anthology I hear about, but I can't get my hands on? I was like, that's kind of silly. So I'm hoping they're gonna. You need to write another one. There you go. Yeah, Russell has the right answer. We'll just do another one. Exactly. Yeah, maybe I can give you more than like 3 weeks to do it too.
But why?
But why? That's true. I do get good work out of you guys if I only give you maybe I'll give you 2 weeks this time, and then if I give you 1 week, I'll have diamonds every single one of them.
Yeah, we need more degree of difficulty attempts here. I think is very important as well. Let's see. All right, so I'm meeting this guy that you told me I was going to meet, John. This McCluskey guy, or Jason.
Oh yeah.
You might have been the one.
Nope, I did. I said him. Yes, McCluskey. Here's a face you can love.
Towering over the middle of Carter.
Bulldrug says on Steam you can get the anthology with a deluxe digital version. Yes, Bull. Dear God, I'm never going to live this down, am I? Yes, Bull, I will certainly remember. If I had been on the forums, I would have put it out to everyone on there, but unfortunately I did not know about them yet, so I had to go to the people I could get a hold of ASAP. But look, I'd love to do another anthology. I have plans to do another anthology, and I'm hoping I'll be able to do one. So, but that means everyone has to talk up like A Spells in Chrome, the first anthology that came out in 2010. And
you should put a link to that, John. You should put a link to Spells in Chrome.
In the site. I think I will.
And Nachos, yes, the anthology came with backers for this game. That's what this is, one of the stretch goals, I guess, or one of the just the higher pledge levels, I guess.
It was a higher pledge level, I think. It wasn't. It may have been a stretch goal. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna go and get that. I'm gonna get that link right now. That's a good point.
Super just asked a question which will cause the authors to attack each other savagely. What's your most recommendable story within the anthology? Then later on, then right after that, Super then says something which is of course what he really meant, which is the best starting point for those in the room. But I'm just gonna get rid of that and just say, so which is the best story in the Antho, guys?
2 authors enter, 1 author leaves.
Exactly.
Before any other authors answer, remember that I have a large voice in deciding what work you get.
He actually says, what's the best starting point for those in the room that generally don't read anything text only? That's, of course, what he really meant. So, again, it's kind of like, what's the best story intro, I guess, into the universe?
Actually, you know what? I'm going to leap in there and say it's best. I organized them from time-wise earliest to latest. So really, you can start with Jennifer Brozek's, which is a major character as a child, and just roll right through it.
Okay.
You can go and order. There's no. I didn't mix it up. I wanted it a specific order to bring these characters, in, and so that's why I did it that way. So there you go. Spells and.
So this guy's trying to get info about the killer as well while I'm just standing by there. By the way, I also just rifled through the guy's evidence bag because that's how I roll. So.
Oh, I think I missed that when I went in there. Damn it! I'll have to go back there.
Yes. Right. Spells and Chrome is the
This guy is a cop, by the way, Greg.
Yes, I can tell. Yes. I know. I got that impression. Spells and Chrome is the anthology that kid. That's why I did this from behind the curtain before he could say anything. Spells and Chrome is the anthology that came out to promote 4th edition Shadowrun, but it is not the anthology that came with this. That is an earlier anthology that John did, and then so that's what we did before.
Yeah, that came out in 2010. It won the ENnie award. No, the ENnie award. It won the ENnie award for best game related project, and I'm very thrilled about that.
Mm-hmm.
Still haven't got my faceplate. Oh wait, what was it?
It's an Origins Award.
Origins Award. Sorry, the Origins Award. Yes. Okay, I am still very happy.
That's right.
And yeah, thank you everyone for the congratulations. Absolutely. So yes, you should have bought it, even if there wasn't a Stackpole story in there, for crying out loud. Sheesh. Someone said there's a Stackpole story there. Maybe I should have bought that one after all. Give me the name of the woman.
Brozek. It's spelled Brozek.
EK, yeah, correct.
Let's see. Yeah, the killer stuns the target with a combination of drugs and magic, then removes a single internal organ while they're still alive. So serial killing in the Shadowrun universe involves a combination of drugs and magic.
Happy. Exactly. Bold. It was pretty good. Even Jason's. That's funny.
Even Jason's.
Sometimes miracles happen.
Well, then you're a miracle worker on a pretty regular basis from what I can tell. So.
Oh, you're too kind.
That's not the same anthology. Yeah, that's true. The abstruse one is right. That's not the same anthology as Backers Deluxe Purchasers get. He's absolutely correct. That's a different one. That is more Shadowrun short story goodness, though. Absolutely. If you like short fiction, then Spells and Chrome is another Shadowrun anthology that people should pick up. And I do mean that, seriously. So.
I love the sense of humor in this game that I think I would suspect you'd feel has always existed. The Lone Star Detective finally notices you. You note his superhuman powers of observation.
Absolutely.
As I've been standing right behind the dwarf the whole time, just like, so.
Yep, exactly.
Hey, Lemon, how are you? Welcome to the stream, man. Who the hell are you going to see? Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, so here's an example. This is the first time I've run into this. If I had a higher strength, I could have chosen this none of your business, but I don't. So I'm just kind of like,
Well, you can be sarcastic, or you can be, it depends on, But just for the record, I chose I'm the nobody who didn't hear nothing.
I was seriously thinking about that. I'm trying to choose between that or the detective on this case. You on this, get anywhere into my investigation, it'll be you on the slab elf. Really? I see.
Yeah, he's a cheery guy.
Charming. I could tell. Putting someone in a cellar box this week and claiming my promotion. Well, tremendous. Alright, that's good to know. Do you always make friends that easily? Let's see.
Yeah, same thing. Like you said, the humor, and you're absolutely right. That's one of I'm going to plug Aftershock, which is out of print, unfortunately, and I don't think there's an e-version of it, an ebook version of it. That is one of the things that Gene Arabian and I really tried to do in our novel, was to make sure that the humor, because humor is endemic to any condition, human or another, race, and we really wanted the humor to be part of the Shadowrun world, because it is, yes, it's all dark and dreary and it's raining and people's lives are crap and all that stuff, but it doesn't matter. Humor always comes through some way, shape, or form, and we really thought we wanted to. That was one of our goals, is to show that people are people, and there's still opportunities for humor. Because you were bringing that up earlier, Greg, and I wanted to just comment on that.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
it goes back to some to the noir roots of Shadowrun, because noir, is known for a dark world view, but also for that really lively, crackling dialogue from Double Indemnity or The Big Sleep or Raymond Chandler novels, and to have that wit and that fun with the language, as well as the dark view. So that
absolutely. Absolutely.
Is that something also that you had to think about when you were sort of moving things over into 5th edition? One of the objections, since I don't have any Wizards of the Coast folks on, we can talk about the fact that although I did like 4th edition, I understood the series of D&D. I understood the series flaws that it had, and one of the people's objections to it was that 4th edition just felt like a vastly different game, not just in terms of its mechanics, but really in the emphasis. The focus had just gone, made it into a tabletop miniatures game rather than the sort of theater of the mind stuff, which it always was before. So I'm curious, Jason, for you, when you were working on 5th edition here, did you have to think about, I mean, how much did you play in not just the feel of the world, but also how to sort of represent that in character development and the like? Like, did you have to think about things like how to represent a sense of humor in the way the world is presented, whether it be, backstory, entries, encyclopedia entries on various places and things? Like, I wonder, or was most of that sort of addressed before this, and so you just had to make sure you didn't foul it up in 5e?
There is some of that, try not to foul up what's already good, but there was a lot that we needed to address to try to get the feel of the world right. Some of that was in the style we decided to use to write the rule book, and to try to make it more conversational, and to try to put in some more of that humor, which is how a lot of the earlier Shadowrun source books were written, just a livelier, more fun prose style. But there's also elements of the rules that we had to look at. And this is where the freelancers came in tremendously handy, is putting everything to the litmus test. Does it feel like Shadowrun? Because there is a certain feel the rules have, and that's not always easy to define.
Right.
But you can make a lot of changes and go in different directions and try to make improvements, but you have to make sure the changes you're making to the rules still keep a certain level of the right Shadowrun feel, because if you change it too much, to do a radical example, if we decided to make it D20, maybe there'd be some good things about a D20 rule set, but that does not feel like Shadowrun. Having a large handful of D6s, that feels like Shadowrun.
That's something we talked about as well, John. I've had you on Speculate before, and we talked a little bit about getting the feel of something right. So what was your sort of kind of mantra on that? When you got a story, were there stories that you had to send back and be like, this doesn't feel right, or reject out of hand? I mean, obviously you have to bring up names, but like or did that not come up because all these wonderful freelancers in chat are so awesome that, that didn't happen?
This is interesting, and the freelancers in chat and those who didn't make it are awesome. But now this is interesting, and I will not name names, but this is interesting. I was approached by a writer while I was on the coast doing a workshop, and she said, hey, I understand you're doing something. Is there any room? I said, well, yeah, I've got, let's talk. And they and I worked out a story, and she wrote it. And I'll say she, screw it. But that's all far I'm going to go. And she wrote it, and I edited it, thought it was good. I sent it in, and it got bounced because the powers that be did not like it. And I'm like, well, okay. It took me aback. I thought it was a good story. I enjoyed it, but it did not hit their tickle point, whatever you want.
Okay.
It was not what they were looking for.
Okay.
Luckily, that only happened once, and we're going to try to find a way to work that. It's a good story, and it deserves to be somewhere else. We're going to find a way to put it into an RPG or something somewhere, Jason, so be warned. But, and I was surprised. I did not expect that, because everyone else has done a great job. Killer, Jordan had been easy to work with, but this one just did not, the buttons were not lining up right. So, no. But when you come in with a project this is short, like I said before, you got to get people who know this. Everyone nailed it because they've all done work in this field before, so it wasn't a big deal. Even my first timer, he played a long time. This is his first Shadowrun story, but he's played it. He knows the world. He got it right.
He was really fired up to write for you, by the way. He really wanted this.
Yes, he wanted it bad, and then he got it. So there you go.
Yep.
Let's see what's going on here. Question. Oh, new campaign. Optic asked, when do you plan to introduce new campaigns, new areas in the future? That's a good question. That's a Jordan question, unfortunately, unless you mean the RPG. In terms of this game, I don't know. I'm not sure. I know Harebrained is going to keep developing the game. And I think I don't know how much they're counting on the players to create their own stuff, which I gotta admit would still be very cool. But I imagine they'll be putting out, I would hope they'd be putting out like adventures or something, updates I hope every few months.
Setting?
I'm sorry, what?
Were they supposed to do a second setting with the game?
Berlin was supposed to be included. I think Berlin's going to be the first add-on, from what I understand.
At least see that.
So...
Let's see. During this year of Shadowrun, could you please put out the special SR dice again? Oh, that's that. Jason, you have a thought about that? Can you put out some more special dice?
Yeah, we're working on it. In particular, working on it in connection with the intro box set. So hopefully we'll have some special dice in there if it works out. And if we do then get the production of those dice for the box set going, I will look to see if we can get them sold separately.
See, you heard it here first. So that he's very excited. Yes. I knew it.
Berlin.
Remember all the ifs I put in that sentence.
No, I guarantee you he has not heard any of the ifs. All that he heard right there was just...
Oh, that is funny. That picture that just came up, that's hilarious. Where else are you going to use 3 pounds and 6 letters? Absolutely. Absolutely. That's hilarious. That's great. That's great.
Try for one of those. Let's see.
Yes, spend your karma wisely.
Yeah, it's really interesting to be able to sort of, and it's kind of just sort of a rolling level up system as opposed to you hit level 2 and then you spend all of it, you know.
Yep, exactly.
And that was the case also with the RPG, that you're constantly spending points, you know, throughout the game. Are karma points like very difficult to come by, or does it just depend on the game master in question, or?
Some of it always depends on the game master, but they shouldn't be terribly difficult to come across. You start pretty strong as a character. You don't start incompetent like some classes in some major role-playing games that I won't name. So you can accomplish things, but then you, in reasonable short order, will be able to start making improvements to you, even after as little as one run.
Interesting. Yeah, super. No, I didn't ignore it. I actually forgot about it, though. I want to phrase this better, but I can't. Sorry. Are most of the allies in the game intentionally XCOM level disposable? That's what I got from my experience with the game. I cannot obviously speak to that yet. I don't know if John can. He's been a few hours in.
I mean, kind of. I see people come in and come out. I mean, obviously, they're not there for cannon fodder as far as I'm concerned. And then they're actually, by the way, from what I can tell, there are certain goals do involve keeping people alive if possible. So they're not just, I mean, I don't know if there are any power gamers out there who just like to do, throw them in front of the cannon there. But I try to keep my NPCs alive because I don't know when they're going to come back or if they're going to come back or if the story changes if they die, you know? So I'm not that far into it, but, you know, I take it as, well, not necessarily disposable per se, but right now it's kind of they come in, they do their job, and they go out. And it's only every so often kind of thing.
Interestingly, in the middle of this, I just opened up a morgue drawer that Dresden sent me to, and this totally alive guy just jumped out. So
yeah, that was great.
That's interesting. Let's see. So much for a good night's sleep. On the plus side, you haven't killed me yet, so that's good. If you aren't after me, then what's your story? I'll ask the questions. Let's see. I'm looking at the death of Sam Watts. The coroner seems to think you can help me out since you live in a morgue, so that makes sense. Let's see. For question, this one's for Jason, I think. Any plans to bring in or highlight any new races for the pen and paper?
Eventually, yeah. We will have a book similar to the Runner's Companion for 4th edition coming out probably in about a year, so that will have increased race options in there. So we'll see which ones we put in. The freelancers will propose their things, and I will look at what they propose and how much sanity and thought they put into their efforts, and we'll go from there.
I may have to get in on that. I do have a race I'd like to get in there. So, okay, interesting. I'll keep an eye out for that on the forum.
Optic, don't even joke about that. The horror.
Wait, what?
There at Baldur's Gate, you'll be shocked to hear, glitched out on us at one point, and with this one guy that we killed for a side quest, we ran into him again. Like 3 or 4 versions of him would show up in tons of screens, so we must have killed Ramazith about 75 times. So everywhere you turn around, it's like Ramazith. So now anyone who watched my Baldur's Gate stream is like, look, it's Ramazith.
Drawer waiting for
Honest
you.
to God. I swear to God. The Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition, which successfully enhanced the glitches as well as the great parts. So.
Well, there you go.
Standard. Let's see. Yeah, absolutely. Next core book out is this edition's Canon Companion, Betting the Matrix book. Yeah, what has been the response, actually? I should ask this as well. What has been the response, first of all, for Jason, what's the response been so far to the 5th ed? Because I know it released at Origins, I was there, and I saw that you released the soft cover there, and then the hard cover is obviously coming out of Gen Con. But what's the response been to 5th ed? And then, John, has there been any, have you gotten feedback yet from readers about the Antho, stories in the Antho?
Okay.
As is generally the case with the internet, the response depends on where you look. But we've generally been very pleased with the reviews. The reviews have been very good. Sales have been extremely good. And just in general, the response has been quite positive. There are people who have different criticisms and find different flaws, and that's totally cool because everyone's got their own opinion. So that's, you'll find a wide array of opinions out there, but in general, we've been very happy with the response.
Okay, very cool, John.
Unfortunately, I have not seen any because the anthology just dropped today. So, although I saw Russell apparently had already read half of it, I have not seen any. I would love feedback on what people think about, especially just not only the stories, which to me are kick-ass in my humble opinion, but also what they think about it. I'd love to hear people's opinions on how it adds, if it adds to the gaming experience, and what they thought
Right.
of that, because I think that's an idea that can be done for other things.
Actually, that leads to a question. Chat. For people in chat, not counting the authors who contributed to this, of course, how many people pre-ordered the deluxe edition of this game and thus have this anthology? Also available, Gil points out that it's also available for the digital deluxe edition on Steam. So how many people
Which
have
is
read
very
this specific
cool.
anthology? Or how many of you have read either that or the Spells and Chrome anthology in chat? Again, not the people who contributed to it, but other people watching. How many other people, if any, have read the anthology?
Either one.
I did not get the deluxe edition. Warnacho says.
Sad face. Like I said, I'm really hoping they put it out. Even in an e-edition would be worth it, as far as I'm concerned, just so people can get it, And
That's Optic, who's the Shadowrun Returns, Shadowrun huge fan.
I like Russell. I like Russell's answer. I started having to literally get it. That was before I was a part of the anthology, which is hilarious.
Yep, you knew people back in the day.
Wanted 10,000 words for the review.
Oh, very cool, Jason. You got a fan of SR5. So, oh no, Shadowrun 5. Yeah, you got a fan of 5th edition apparently.
On the
That's awesome. I'm very happy
website.
to see people having fun with it. That's all we want is people to have fun.
Yes. Well, I think Jason, you're very happy with the sales so far, right?
Yeah, we set a record at Drive-Thru RPG for best first week ever by a product, and set that record by a wide margin.
There you go. So thanks to all the fans who have kept this game going and enjoyed it. That's the really great thing about it.
Ever since
fans
the
are
Shadowrun
very
Returns
loyal.
Kickstarter went live, Shadowrun fans have showed their passion and dedication and just general awesomeness time and time and time again. So yeah, they're just an incredible group of people.
Well, Shadowrun Returns always struck me as the kind of universe that if people liked it, someone had said that it was they weren't sure if this was had the broadest appeal. It clearly has the deepest appeal. This is the kind of thing where people are really fired up and will just support and support and support. And I actually noticed from reading the forums that even when the game was originally, people thought that this was going to be late June, and then they said it would end up being late July. The vast majority of people were kind of like, it doesn't matter as long as we get a good Shadowrun game. It's fine, whatever you want to do, just a good Shadowrun game. They were so anxious that the game itself do justice to the universe. So that's a lot of pressure, I imagine, on anyone involved in either writing for it or editing for it or producing games about it. I imagine it's a lot of pressure because people really are passionate about this game, and I know that people are passionate about all sorts of different things, but definitely this is one of those things that really drives that interest, it seems to me.
Let me jump in there real quick, and I'll pass it to Jason. I went and looked when Aftershock came out. I'm going to talk about the novel because that is actually a microcosm of what you just said, Greg. And we got reviews that were all over the board, and they were all for different reasons. And there's a certain, as Jason and I both said, there's a certain Shadowrun feel to the fiction, the game, and all that stuff. And if you hit it, you're pretty much 90% of the way there. Then just making sure all your terminology is correct, and then of course you have to have a good story and good characters. But what one person's going to like, the next person's going to not like, and one person's going to be indifferent about, the next person's going to hate with a passion. It's just all over the place. It's just really weird. But I do love the passion that the gamers bring to Shadowrun in particular, because it's one of those. I don't know if it has. D&D, I suppose, but D&D's gone through a lot of incarnations, where Shadowrun, the basic core of it, has remained the same. And I think that's what I think is always enjoyable, that someone can come into a Shadowrun game and they're gonna know it's Drek, and it's the Ares pistol and all this stuff, and the Super Warhawk, and elves are running around in Deckers, except when they were hackers, and it's gonna be this game that they're more or less familiar with, which is awesome.
Very, very cool. Jason, what do you think about that? What's it like to have that sort of depth of interest? I mean, it puts more pressure because if you screw up, I imagine they'll let you know. But I guess it makes your job easier in the sense that you have people who are immediately supportive of anything you can do to keep Shadowrun, going as a major force, in the genre.
No, Shadowrun fans never tell me about any flaws or problems or criticisms they have.
Clearly not.
I think one way to answer that is with the story. When I was hired as Shadowrun Line developer, let me tell you how I actually found out that I had been hired. I had done the interview, and then I think it was Saturday of Gen Con, I went to the Catalyst booth. And at the time, there was a guy working for Catalyst named Adam Jury. Really good layout and design guy. I mean, if you look at stuff he does for Eclipse Phase, it's gorgeous stuff. But a longtime Shadowrun fan, he kind of broke into the RPG industry by doing a Shadowrun fanzine. And so I walked up to the booth and just kind of hanging around because that was what I did. And he pulls me over into a corner and he says, "If you screw up the game universe I have loved for 20 years, I will kill you." That was how I found out I had the job. So I said, I didn't even know I was going to have a chance to screw it up. And so that is the kind of pressure that Shadowrun fans want, because they are dedicated. They love this universe. They want to see it taken care of. They want to see it be awesome because that's what it should be.
Yeah.
So there is, a little bit of pressure, but there should be. If I'm going to try to play around in one of the greatest sandboxes anyone has ever given me, I should have some pressure to try to do it right. And that's okay.
Yeah.
Super RPG Man just asked a really interesting question, and this is, I think, totally on the game side. So I'll take it that you appreciate people out there that are critical about the game's flaws, but still highly recommend it for several reasons, despite them. Despite, not to spite, despite them.
Absolutely, yeah.
I mean, no game's gonna be
I
perfect.
appreciate anyone taking it seriously. So if you look it over and you find the pros and you find the things you don't like and you find potential problems, that's awesome. And people who are going to analyze it, if people are going to look at the game and tell us about what they think the flaws are, and that ends up in something that we can do better, that's good for everyone. So yeah, we definitely appreciate people taking a look and sharing whatever thoughts they have, positive or negative.
You know, one of
As long as they're taking it seriously, it's awesome.
Making a JFK joke. That was interesting.
well, yeah, that was that, and the fact that he had the he was able to give me any possible gun I could ever want. So that was that was curious.
That was a reason.
You know, one thing that struck me also about the game side that this reminded me a lot of is Arcanum, that I mentioned before, which was Troika, I think, originally. And Arcanum was a game where you basically had magic and technology in conflicts. The more technological you were, the less effective you were with magic, and the less effect it had on you, and vice versa. With technology. And it's interesting that this game has always had that kind of balance. I'm wondering, are hybrid characters difficult to play? I mean, is there sort of the de facto, it really would be better, yes, you could be a fighter rogue, but it would really be better if you were a fighter. You know, is there that sort of thing going on, or could you theoretically be fairly straight down the line, half magic, half, cyber implants and things like that? Yeah, it is a great game, guys. Winks, you're right. What do you think about that, Jason and John?
Being half magic and half cyber would be really hard.
Okay.
There are a lot of hybrids you can do because it's not a class-based system, so you can, get a little more on the sneaking while also being good at combat, or you can be a face who's also good at sneaking around or punching people in the face, or even a face who's good at magic. But doing that combination of magic and cyber, since those bonuses could overlap and potentially make you a monster, it's tough to do that and be strong in both those.
Okay, that's very helpful, because it's always interesting to me to try out, to sort of get a sense of what different people, what different games allow you to do or not allow you to do. And I've been running D&D campaigns for over 20 years and played every edition except 3.5, and so I have, seeing some of the multi-classing and how that can drive game masters crazy. I'm always curious about how games themselves handle it, and whether they sort of push you in one direction or the next, and whether, whether you can specialize, or whether you should specialize, or whether it really is possible to be more of a generalist.
I think the great thing about that is it prevents min-maxing. That's because you don't want someone who's, I'm wielding, phenomenal cosmic powers with one hand, and my mighty cyber claw is destroying everything in sight with the other hand. It's like, okay, and I think that was a great thing about the game, is that you just can't do that. It's not possible.
Okay,
to do that kind of combo. And as Jason said, and I agree with, there's certainly enough character creativity and byplay to play a wide variety of whatever you want to do. Absolutely.
Okay, I wouldn't go so far to say min-maxing isn't possible, because game players are an incredibly creative bunch.
Yes.
But
that is true. That is true.
Part of what we want to do with that whole everything has a price is that, if you emphasize one area to build yourself up and to be really strong, there should be some critical weakness you also introduce too, so that there should be something you can take advantage of.
Right, and Russell makes a good point. I mean, yeah, and look, and here's the thing, keep in mind, there is gear, if you're willing to wear it, that doesn't have to be cybered, that will give you a lot of advantages. I mean, if you are an adept or a mage, you can trick yourself out with the goggles and, even a smart link, which, doesn't have to be plugged. I think the smart link is like 0.2 essence cost. So if you wanted to have that, I want to snipe as a shaman. Well, good for you. You can build it up to a limit. You won't be as good, as Russell just pointed out, as a straight up street samurai. But if you want to focus on one particular aspect, you can probably get it, more than decent, I would think.
Yeah, there's a lot of options out there. So that's one of the great things about Shadowrun, in my opinion, is that there are tons of character options. We give you like 16 archetypes in the core book, but that's just a sampling of what you can do. You can build anything and customize it and fill whatever niche you think you can do and have fun with it.
Exactly.
Very cool. And Guilt, thank you so much. It was driving me crazy about like what the heck allowed me to see objects I could interact with, and it's the Alt button. Thank you. I kept pressing tab, like where is my highlighted? I can't see. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hi, Kathleen. Welcome into the stream.
Oh, hey, that's good for me to know too, because usually it just kind of lights up when you go into the room.
Right. Yeah, but
it did for me.
Just sort of, there were a couple of things there that didn't highlight until I did that, so that was kind of a different thing. And I wanted to mention to chat that in about 5 to 10 minutes, we'll be having our second and probably final giveaway of the stream. This will be courtesy of Optic Nerve Productions. And then, as I say, John and Jason will probably have to be taking off soon. I'm happy to have them on as long as they're willing to be on, but these guys have already been incredibly generous with their time. So I'm leaving it up to them. When they have to take off, please just tell me, and I will not at all be offended. You guys have done just incredible work.
Probably going to call in about 20 minutes.
That's fine. That sounds good.
My pleasure. It's been a lot of fun.
That's been very helpful, and high 70s now as well in the viewer count. So, but thank you guys so much. I really appreciate that. Big
Optic
help.
Nerve just asked if Shadowrun Returns will get multiplayer. Gosh, I hope so. I think it would certainly be really cool if it did. I can't imagine they're not planning on that, but I don't know. That's a harebrained schemes question. But I would think they'd just be like, why the heck not? But with the MMO coming out, who knows?
Some it's a resources question. I think that was something they wanted to do, but as they looked at it, it's a big step to go from single player to multiplayer. So they'll have to find the resources to do that.
But it's it's interesting. It's a question that's come up with Project Eternity, because Project Eternity which is Obsidian's new thing. They've been very clear is not going to be multiplayer, and there's been this sort of discussion on the forums about, well, that's good because we don't want to waste resources on it. And I have to say, had I been asked this question maybe 4 or 5 months ago, I would have agreed and I would have said yes, because in a way, Twitch TV, what we're participating in right now, is a way to make single player games multiplayer. In a way, this is sort of what I used to do when I was a kid, and I would go over to my friend's house and we'd be playing a Nintendo and watching a single player game and going, oh, do this or try this or whatever. That kind of is what Twitch TV represents. But since I've been doing the Baldur's Gate stream, which has been an incredible blast, it's been really amazing to just reminded me again about how much fun it is playing multiplayer with people. This is why, of course, I like board gaming. I love coming to Gen Con, not just because I've been in the Writer Symposium there, as John knows, for a long time, but it's not just the writing side. It's also the fact that it's fun to play games with people, and I don't have a lot of time to do it, and people move away, and it's hard to organize and coordinate. I'm sure we could all tell those same kind of stories, and having the chance to do it with a group of people is a big thing. So I would like them to do that, and everyone, you guys can tell me more about this than I could. Everyone says that Shadowrun has always been about a team approach, right? And so if that's true, it seems to me that this would be perfectly suited for that if they can do it down the line. Is that fair to say that this has never been like a lone wolf type of game, if you follow what I mean?
I would say so, that it's a team. It's definitely the team. Each member brings their own skill set, et cetera, et cetera. But Jason, I'm sure can talk about that more.
Yeah, I think it absolutely is at the core of the Shadowrun experience, is having a team with a diverse group of skills coming together and working together. When you have the archetypical Shadowrun story, it is a group of people supporting each other. So I think that's a key part of the experience. And so it would be great to have multiplayer. And hopefully, someone did mention Shadowrun Online in the chat, which will be a browser-based game and will be more multiplayer-oriented, and that should be hopefully coming out late 2013. And so it'll give you a little more feel for the team experience, which is a great part of the game.
Yeah, that's cool. Bull answered Super RPG Man's question about how come all the other characters are stationary. I think it's just, and I think Bull answered it very well. It's a matter of budget. I'm sure they would have liked to have them all at least move around or be more like alive. But when you're doing this on, I mean, one would think that 1.8 million would be a nice budget for a game, but there's a whole lot of work that goes into this, and some little tweaks that we'd love to have. Like I was saying earlier, that I'd really like to hear the rain coming down. Well, we don't get that. But I'll take this story any day of the week over the little nitty things that aren't in there. So it would be a perfect experience. I'm just glad this is out. I'm glad it's here. I have no complaints.
Yeah, couple of quick things in response to things in chat. Yeah, what Russell answered it, Tom. These guys that we're speaking to are either connected with the anthology or connected with the role-playing game of Shadowrun, and they, in the case of the anthology, it's directly related to characters in the game, and of course there was consultation with the RPG side as well, but not necessarily. This is not, Jordan is not with us on this chat, so that's the person you'd want to ask about the linear storyline or whatever that you've discovered so far. Thus far, I mean, I am not a big person for caring particularly about whether a storyline's linear or not. Honestly, I'm more interested in whether the story is engaging. So far, this story has been engaging, and that's what I look for in an RPG myself. Hey, Foom, speak of the devil. Foom is Rick Olson from Destructoid. He's the guy I've been playing Baldur's Gate, the Baldur's Gate 6-person stream with. And yeah, Jason Hardy and John Helfers are still with us, Foom, as well as some other writers for the Shadowrun thing. Welcome in, everybody. Hi, Kessler. And Guilt, I know that Shadowrun Returns is only going to be single player, but I have heard people say that SRO, the multiplayer game, it's going to be an MMO, not a multiplayer game as such. And I've heard a lot of people saying they would like this specific game that we're playing to be multiplayer too. So anyway, who knows if it'll happen.
If it sells well enough and there's enough demand for it, I'm sure HBS would probably try to make it happen. But they might not want to cross the streams too much if the other MMO, which I can't wait for that one to come out either. But we will see.
Absolutely, and I actually have to equip something as well. Yeah, no. Well, they weren't given $1.5 million, Super. These guys weren't.
Yeah, no idea.
No, I'm pretty sure they weren't under budget.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they squeezed every last buck out of their budget that they could. Yeah. Worried about Shadowrun Online as it is made by the guys who did Jagged Alliance Online. I don't know. Yeah, $1.5 million anthology. Woohoo!
Yes, Shadowrun Online is made by the same guys that did Jagged Alliance.
5. No, 30 days. Oops, I meant 30 days. 30 days. Heck, you guys get 5 days. There.
5
days.
Yes,
I'm sure Jason could do a great source book for 1.5 million.
You betcha. Paul, sell 500,000 missions and you can have that 1.5 million. Go for it.
Funny. How many words? Oh, that's a hoot.
Yeah, just really impressed with the details, the art design in this game. Again, this is the third time that I'm saying it, but just really impressed with some of the details. It feels just, again, very clean, very crisp. I dig it. I mean, it has the right kind of feel, it seems to me, for something like this. Hey, series, welcome. Speaking of 6-person Baldur's Gate stream, another person who did that. Yeah, welcome into the stream, man, and Foom's here as well. Foom will show you some amazing photos of his vacation. Yes, indeed.
Guild brings up a good point that, hey, if you don't like this one, make your own.
Yep.
It's true. Make your own. Get the editors out, make your own adventure, and show these fools at HBS how it's done.
I heard somebody say, actually, I heard someone say that there's something like 10 or 11 campaigns already out. I mean, I can't...
Wow, that would not surprise me at all.
Yeah, because the backers had at least a month, I think, to play with the editor before this came out, so... Oh, wow.
RPG.
Runner of series.
This seems like a good opportunity maybe for me to check out.
Sounds good, Jason. I am really, really grateful for doing this. Thank you so much, and yeah, I mean, best of luck with your RPG. I guess I will probably see you at Gen Con. I'll try to swing by and say hi, but again, I'm really appreciate it for coming by. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hey, Jason.
Thanks everyone who showed up for chatting.
Yep, nice chatting with you, man. We'll see you at Gen Con.
Talk to you later.
Sounds good. Thanks, Jason.
Bye-bye.
All right, Jason's out. John will be with us for another 10 minutes or so, I think,
yep.
And then 5-10 minutes, and then we'll let him go. Okay.
I'm answering Super RPG's question real quick. In 72 hours. There. He's talking about someone. He said something about the hell was it? Oh, I asked him to do it in 5 minutes. Not all the money in the world is going to pull off in 5 days, and I told him the story about the guy who pulled in the story at 72 hours. So it can be done. They just have to want it.
Yes, indeed. What did I get?
And he
Uh-oh.
did.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Hand over the loot, bozos. Well, all
Mugged.
right.
You're being mugged.
I see how this is.
Ooh, we're at 81. We've hit 81. Sweet. I just found the little numbers like, oh wait, no, 79. Two just left. Damn
Yep.
it.
Yes, welcome
You're
in. All the
watching
people in
that?
chat, welcome in. If you like what you see in here, please follow. This has been a really, really fun stream for me with playing Shadowrun Returns with John Halfers. Jason Hardy is just left, but John is still with us for a few more minutes. And we will have one more giveaway courtesy of Optic Nerve Productions, after which I will continue to play this game a little bit, but without these wonderful people. And also, thanks again to all the writers who came in. Seriously, you guys. I mean, everyone is going to know that I love authors, but thank you so much for doing this. I will appropriately talk about how awesome John is before he leaves, but just wanted to say that to you guys while I'm thinking about it.
As per the terms of our contract, absolutely.
as foretold in the prophecy.
That's right. Speaking, are you working on the second book now? Just to get a little bit on your work, I forgot. We talked about this at Origins a bit, but
yes. Well, so there's a project I can't talk too much about. I've been reading from my book ICARUS, my second novel, which I had sent to you to take a look at some point. I've been reading that on stream. That's in preparation for a project which I will be telling these folks about soon. My third novel is out on submission to various places, and I am working on my fourth. But the next thing, we do have another anthology based on the one that we did this year. That Time Travel Tales Kickstarter. It's going to be another Kickstarter for Heroes, which was the anthology that came out this year. That's going to be starting soon, and a couple of other projects that I'm not at liberty to mention. So I have to be kind of mysterious about it, but soon.
Yeah, no, I understand. I got to email Kelly about the library next year for Origins.
Yes. Definitely you're in like Flynn for sure. So thanks, Chris, for stopping by. Let me just hold on, John. You're buzzing again. Let me get you in and out for a second.
Yeah, no.
There we go. That's better. Thank you. But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, no, it's been great chatting with everyone. You guys are all, it's a really good group here. It sounds like a lot of fun. This has to be a blast to do.
Oh, definitely. And Russell, yeah, for sure I will do that. I would love to get that kind of contact info. I actually just found out, John, you know Aaron Rosenberg because you were on Speculate with him. Yes. I found out that I am going to be at the Farpoint convention in February. He passed along my name, and they would like me to be a guest on that track. So that's that's another convention that's been added to the group. And by the way, folks, if you don't know already, if you have not already done so, if you are going to be in the Indianapolis area, John and I are both going to be at Gen Con, as we have been every year. For a long time, and we're going to be there as part of the Writers' Symposium on panels and so on. So if you'd like to meet John or I in person, you should come to Gen Con and say hi. That's going to be, I believe, the middle of August 14th,
hold
15th.
on, I'm looking it up right now.
Somewhere there.
It is the 15th through the 18th of August.
And that counts for the authors, too. If you guys are going to be there, please let me know, because I would like to meet you guys directly, in addition to the email stuff. So, okay, cool.
I know Russell's definitely going to be there. And also, by the way, I will be at Dragon Con in Atlanta from the 30th of August. It's a busy month, to the Monday the 2nd. So if anyone on this feed is stopped by, I'll be doing some panels. Do come by and say hi. I'd love to meet you and chat. It'd be great. So, absolutely.
I have to do this. This is a flamethrower. Wait a minute. I just have to see if this works. Does it?
What do you got? Oh, yeah. Flaming hands. Oh, neat. Nice spell casting.
Nice. What was I going to say? So Russell, I would definitely, that would be great to have a chance to meet you there. But if anyone's going to be there, let me know. Also, if anyone is going to be in San Antonio, Texas, while John is in Dragon Con trying to deal with the hordes of people, I will be in San Antonio at Worldcon, where I'm on, I believe, 3 panels. I'm doing a workshop there that I've done with Martha Wells for a couple of years, and I'm going to be doing a reading as well. So if you're in San Antonio, that would be awesome as well. I know, series, it is XCOM. It feels like it, doesn't it? For
those who don't know, that's the World Science Fiction Convention. I had to choose, but Dragon Con, I'm actually a guest of the con, so that made it a pretty easy choice.
Nice, very nice. Oh, you got one of the coveted guest spots. Wow, I guess you're right.
Although, Greg, have you voted for the Hugos yet, my friend?
I have not voted for the Hugos, but will. I voted for you nominated, so.
Yeah, now it's only people who are going to the con who actually get to vote for it, so you have to go and vote. You have like 5 more days.
Okay,
so
I promise I will absolutely do that.
Please do that. It is important.
Yes, I will absolutely
I got to put up another Facebook thing on that. Anyways. So, yes. All right. I should probably... I'll give it 5 more minutes. I'm sure I'm having a lot of fun watching you play this time.
And yes, what was I going to say? Yeah, John. By the way, ouch, that hurt a lot.
Yes, it does. Start taking it personally, man. Trust me.
I know, like really. I'm going to assume that I can take this guy out by shooting with point-blank range.
There you go.
There we go. I was going to say that John has been nominated. This is his second Hugo nomination. He's been nominated for a Hugo Award for the. Is it called the Collected Works of Martin Greenberg, John?
It's a bibliography. Actually, I have it right here. I have the paper copy. Oof. It's called. I have an idea for a book, the bibliography of Martin H. Greenberg. It's a guide to the more than I think we came up to like 2,500 books he published during his career, and it's up for best related work at the Hugo. If anyone on this feed is going or has a supporting membership in the Hugos that gives you voting rights, please vote for it. Martin Greenberg was my boss for a long time. He passed away in 2010. Never been nominated for a Hugo ever, which was kind of disappointing to us. Not for long form editor, not for short form, not for anthology, anything like that. And so we're trying to kind of rectify that after the fact. I don't know. We'll see. I'm up against some pretty good competition. We'll see what happens, though. I'm
obviously rooting for it, not just because John really is kidding aside, is really a fine editor, and I was very lucky to have a chance to work with him. But also, and John and I are actually working on a project collectively too, a co-editing anthology as well. But in addition to that, Marty Greenberg was the name that I got signed on the first check I ever got paid for writing my first novel that was published. As I said, John was the acquisitions editor, and Marty was the one whose name is on that check, and I've kept that. And so it's he really was a big, major influence in the genre. So I'm really hoping for the best, not just for John, who deserves it, but also for Marty. So
maybe I see that recognition. Absolutely. I got to put that out. But yeah, I mean, he's one of the unsung heroes of the field, and the writers he helped, and just the fans that he gave so much, pleasure and enjoyment to, and he loved it. He was one of the guys just every day was at the office. He loved his work and everything about it. So we're getting off topic here. We should probably get back to what we're doing. But
yes. Well, I'm playing as we're going, but
yeah, that's true. Much healing to be done, my friend.
Yes, I know. I had to exactly. That is exactly what it's doing. No, I know. Foom, you missed it. What are literally as person's like, well, he had that coming. It's like,
yeah.
Foom. So Foom plays in our Baldur's Gate stream. I don't know if you remember, but he plays a ranger, and
yes,
whenever
and that
he
was
attacks
the yell
something,
thing. You've got this coming.
You
got
this coming. Yeah, it was so funny.
So yes, of course. Unfortunately, he missed him when he actually said that. It's hilarious.
Yes, indeed.
I love some of the comments. SR Seattle, just another Tuesday night for her. That's about right. That's about correct.
That is about the case. Yes.
When I read that, I totally thought of you. Yeah, you've got the. He sounds like half insane when he says it too. That's the thing.
He does. He does.
If it was more of a control thing, I can understand, but he sounds like he's just about to gnash his teeth and gnaw his shield and just go crazy.
Well, what was funny was the reaction that Foom found it so funny that it was contagious. We're all like, you know what, this really is funny. And so that was really a big part of it. I'm so happy that became a thing for sure.
Exactly.
So as soon as John leaves, we will do the last giveaway of the night. Just so people are wondering, in case we're wondering when that last giveaway.
So Greg, by the way, about that project, you and I should probably talk.
Yes.
Especially after the Frankel news.
Yes.
And by no word, by the way, from our other possibility.
Okay.
Not even a response. So I'm gonna probably write that off, but you and I will talk about that later.
Yes.
And yes, if you ever have an opening in one of the onlines, I would love to jump in if at all possible. So,
sure.
But we will see how that goes with your schedule, my schedule, and everything else. But this has been a lot of fun. Thanks to everyone who came out and all the great questions, you guys. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the anthology. I think I am going to sign off here now.
Okay, sounds
and
good.
Greg, thanks so much for giving me the opportunity. This has been a lot of fun.
John, I can't even tell you how much I really appreciate my friend. And yes, let us chat. Drop an email or something in the next couple days. And
soon.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right,
Matt.
make that
Take
happen.
care.
Thanks, John, so much.
Yep. Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, wonderful. Thank you so much to John. Really, really great. Let me just shut down Skype because I do not need it now. That was really awesome. And I think that is going to be a good time for us to do that next giveaway. Give me 1 second here. Let's see. Quit Skype. Are you sure you want to quit Skype? Yes, I'm sure. That's Optic has donated it. So just want to say again, I love the writing community, and this is one of the reasons why. These guys do such great work. And it was great to have all of the authors in here as well. I really appreciate it. John is a very good guy. He's a good friend, obviously, and literally, I mean, just a very good editor. So it's been, it was always an honor and a pleasure to have a chance to work with him. I think Fooms, that's Fooms' line, is always an honor and a pleasure, but I really mean it. And it really means a lot to me because having a game that's so focused on story, you guys know how I roll with that. I mean, story is obviously critically important to me as well. So having a chance to do that here is really, really cool. I'm not stopping playing. I'm going to continue to play and continue to do the stream, but I am going to do this giveaway, and then I want to take about a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and continue. But I'm going to do the giveaway first. So let me pop that up here. We're going to do that random.org thing. The way that this is going to work, and again, I want to thank, first of all, Netawin for giving me the Fallout Tactics and Fallout 1. That was on Steam. That was won by Paradox Zero, so thank you. But this next one is contributed by our good friend Optic Nerve Productions, also on the Baldur's Gate stream. Optic, what are the games in question? Netawin! Hey, what's up, Net? So yeah, Netawin, again, Netawin, thank you so much for the giveaway that you gave us. I really appreciate it, man. And it's been given away to Paradox Zero, who was very excited. And now Optic is giving away Shadowrun Returns, I just remembered. Thanks so much, Bull, for stopping by. Hopefully we'll get a chance to meet in person as well. Any of the people on chat, if you can send me a Twitch message, if the people are, like if the authors want to get in touch with me another way, I will obviously have access through my Twitch messages. So I'd love to get contact info from you folks as well. So if you can do that, I'd appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thanks, Russell. I guess I'll see you at Gen Con. So just make sure that you guys get in touch with me. I would really appreciate it as well. Thank you so much to all of the authors who came in, and you guys have done a great job. Shadowrun is a great universe. It's a lot of fun, and this game is, I think this game is going to do real well to get more attention paid to you guys, so thanks so much. Okay, now for the next and final giveaway of the evening, I'm going to be here on random.org again. And give me one sec, my list randomizer. So I'm going to put in, obviously you are not eligible if you are one of the authors. And you're also not eligible if you've already won. So Paradox Zero has already won, so he can't win again. But everybody else is capable of winning. And we will see what happens. So I've put in, there are currently 71 of you sitting in chat. I have put in all 71 names. I'm going to remove myself from the list for obvious reasons. Okay. So there we go. Wonderful. And now I'm going to pull up the screen region so you guys can see it. Okay, everybody is on this list. Let me pull this off there. Okay, so this person who does this, the person who wins this, will win Shadowrun Returns, the game. So the person who wins this, if you liked it, the person who wins this will win Shadowrun Returns. So get hyped, chat. Before we do this, get hyped. Let me see the hype. How hyped are you? How hyped can you be? Let me see that hype. Hype. More hype? Yeah, actually, that's a good call. How about some Franker Z's, too? Hype and Franker Z. Let's see some Franker Z hype. All right, here we go. This one given to you from Optic. For the love of whatever you hold holy, please. All right, here we go. Here it is. Ready? The person who's on the top of the list. I'm not going to keep changing it like Kata does. No, just kidding, Kata. So the person on the top of the list. Right now it's Rookie, but that doesn't mean anything because he's just the top of the list that I took. The person at the top of this list is going to win Shadowrun Returns courtesy of Optic Nerve Productions. Here we go. And Backburner. Backburner is number 1. Backburner has won the game Shadowrun Returns. Burner, my friend, are you here? Burner's been with me a lot, and he's been with Burner's like been over at Destructoid. Burner's a badass. Burner, are you here? Is Burner here? Is he here? A reroll. I didn't technically say that people had to be here, but Burner here, Burner. Going once. I just need to off the 13 people in front of me. Yeah, no, I didn't say that he had to be there. And Burner deserves it, man. He's there all the time. I mean, like, Foom and Inam and all these people can speak to this, and he's with Optic a bunch too. Burner is here a lot. He's not just kind of like some random fly-by-night guy, so. Yeah, so thanks. And the bottom one was Shadowgazer. Oh, goodness me. That's funny. Yeah, he's definitely a great support. So we're going to let him know that he won the game. That's really cool. So congratulations to him. Shadow, but we still love you, though. I love you, man. All the love. Okay, cool. All right. All right, that's very cool. Very cool stuff. Okay. I deserve it more. Oh, crap. I didn't look, man. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see where it was. Oh, man. All right. So I now am going to go. I have to feed the dog and take her out, and I've got to turn the lights out downstairs and all that kind of stuff that I couldn't do because of when we got started. So I'm going to take 10 minutes, only 10 minutes, and then I will be back to play some more. So only 10 minutes. Quick reminder, please make sure to follow the stream if you have not already. Please make sure to get this awesome game. I'm really impressed with it so far. And also, please make sure to follow some of the streamers in chat. I saw Nedowin. Please make sure to follow him. Catabasis is where I got started. Make sure to follow him. I saw Durbin before. Mano is a great streamer. Also, Optic Nerve Productions is really cool. Topkin has started streaming now. Mojo as well. People who are in here who do streaming, please make sure that you follow these folks who are here because we want to build the community in general, and there's a lot of great people here. Too many for me to name all of you, but I just want to keep that in mind, that there's some real great streamers here, and so make sure you do that. And also, one other quick announcement, Baldur's Gate 2, the stream for that is happening next week. We are actually going to be chatting. We have a new member, which we will be announcing at that time. We're going to be chatting sort of early to midweek about getting the mods together. And by the way, hat tip to Topkin. Topkin sent me some information on where to find all the mods, so we're all on the same page. So thanks a lot for that, Topkin. And then probably next Thursday or Friday, yet to be determined, but next Thursday or Friday will be Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 2. Yeah, and Duty, a good streamer as well. Yes, the streaming community is big. So Baldur's Gate 2 is going to be happening as well. That will happen next, as I say, Thursday or Friday. So no problem, Nachos. Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm now going to take this 10-minute break. Please hang out. Do not leave. Enjoy this wonderful stuff. Enjoy the, the atmospheric music and the like, and I will be back in 10. Thanks, guys. Oh, I just saw that as I was leaving. Yes, Super, the video is on my stream as a past broadcast. So if you check out my past broadcast, I don't remember how far back, to be honest with you, you will find some games of Arcanum as well. Well, that's because we always stream at the same time, Duty, that's all. You know I love you, man. Okay, I'm going to be back in 10 minutes, guys. Hold tight. Okay, back. Hi, everybody. Hello to everyone. Hey, Zyron, what's up? Welcome back, everybody. Hello. Thank you. Burner! Did you notice, did everyone tell you something, Burner? You don't want it? Oh, really? Okay. Give it to me. He said he hates me. Really? Your computer can't run it? Really, Burner? How old's your computer? No, I'm just kidding. I didn't think it'd be that. Oh, okay. All right. Okay, man. Everyone was like, "Oh yeah, Burner should totally get it." Blah 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 blah. All right, that's cool. Well then we shall do this again. Rubik's, what's up, man? Yeah, exactly. That was part of my plan. All right, well, I'm going to pull up this thing and we will do this again. By the way, for everyone in chat, I wanted to mention that we have hit a new confirmed record tonight. We had at one point 81 viewers, 81 consecutive viewers. That is a new record for us. So thank you guys very, very much. And 20, what are we on? We're over 25,000 views now. So thanks very much, you guys. And thanks to everybody, my regulars. Thank you, Lego, good work on modding and holding down the fort there. And thanks to my regulars for helping as well, Optic and Mano and a bunch of others who really made a difference in holding things together. So I really appreciate that. Yeah, so onwards and upwards. Yeah, I don't deserve it. Even, Mano, I'm even going to thank you. Because I know that below the surface of your seething trolldom is a deep and abiding love for all things Twitch. So, no, I'm not taking off. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just saying thanks to all my regulars while I'm thinking about it. And I'm also doing it because I'm popping up, I'm going to highlight. I'm going to highlight all these people so I can do a new drawing because Burner does not want it. And hello to everybody that I missed. And some others that don't come to mind. Oh, I understand it. Hey, what's up, Duranka? Good to see you, man. Thanks, Temp. I appreciate it. Well, you know, I talked to Twitch. I did send Twitch some information about it. And Noxious, who Foom and Inam and people like that, and folks here will know from Destructoid. Noxious even tried to, you know, push it and see what we could do. And, you know, there's only so many things they can do. I mean, they got a lot of stuff on their plate. I'm not going to complain about Twitch. I mean, as Foom has said very well, Twitch does really pretty much a great job. I always feel like our complaining about Twitch is kind of like the family member, like the uncle that everyone's like, oh man, that uncle, but you actually really care about the uncle. You know, it's just like you love them, but man, they can do crazy things. That's kind of the way I feel about it. I'm not going to complain about that. Hopefully, if we can do this again, I am going to have Jennifer Brozek on at some point during a Shadowrun stream. She did a lot of the writing in this game, actually. Not only did she do the anthology, but she also did a lot of writing in the game, so I'm going to get her on. And hopefully, you know, we can keep pushing it and seeing what happens. But I'm not going to get mad at them about that. I tried. And more information is going to go out there, so... Yeah, that's exactly right. And also, by the way, while I'm on it, Optic Man, not only thank you for a couple of things I noticed. First of all, Optic, thank you so much for the donation and donation of the game to the stream, which I am going to now be giving away, so thank you. Also, Optic gets super credit as well because Optic, unbeknownst to me, has been pushing this stream hardcore on Facebook, on his Facebook page for a while. So thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. And thank you very much. Also, shout outs to Capoeirist Mike because Mike tweeted this stream that was going on. And Matt Forbeck, good guy, also a very good writer, retweeted that. Matt is not on here right now, so that's not going to help. But I at least wanted to mention it. I don't know if Mike is here, if Mike has left. If he hasn't, then, you know, thanks very much, Mike. Good friend, good guy. I don't know yet, Super. We're working on it. But my guess would be sometime over the next couple of weeks we're going to get it done. Hold on a second. Okay. Man. Yeah. No, I understand. Hey, what's up, Mull? When did Mulligan show up? What's up? Can you... I don't know if I'm going to be able to IM you, but I'm definitely going to have this stuff out there. When I find out, I will definitely... It's not like it's going to be like tomorrow, Super. Like, if you follow me, for sure, I will definitely... You know, I will definitely... Like, this stream that we did tonight, I have been hyping for 2 months at least. I've been talking about it. So I'm not going to, talk about it 2 months before I get Jen on, but certainly it would be for at least a week beforehand. I would mention on some streams before that as well. So definitely keep that in mind. Okay. Here we go. Oh, you were here for good while we're lurking. Okay, good to see you, Mel. All right, here we go. So is everyone ready? So Burner has turned it down, and actually I should pull Burner off of the list then. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, Person Lord and Savior as well. Chris Avalon. Oh, man. I can only work so many miracles, Super. Okay, here we go. So we're going to do this again. Chat, I have a question for you. Are you hyped? I'm going to say that again. Are you hyped? 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 Nope. Hype. Hey, Porquitos. Hype, 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 hype. Type. Drunk hype. Fight. What's up, man? All right, here we go.